Hi, Paul Hefty here with the Triangle O football system. I want to talk about our mesh pass. We do what's called a 9-1-1 run and shoot style, what consists of using a hash read route, something I got from Scott Backer, football coach at Chatfield, Minnesota. You can see here we can use 6-man pro or 5-man solo pro, so the back can free release. We like to install this right after our 4 verts and make this our core man beater. A couple key coaching points. As an OC, you want to call this toward the X receiver every time, and you'll see why with the diagrams. Teaching point, QB uses a quick 3-step drop. He's got to be able to see both the Mike and the Sam for his hots on those mesh crossers. And then last, the back will always align towards the call, whether it's a check release or a free release. But again, the OC needs to always call this towards the X receiver, regardless if it's 2x2 or 3x1. Let's take a look. All right, first off, want to go over our mesh pass protection. Again, we'll use Major League Baseball as the theme for the play call, which will cue the O-line. It's Pocket Pro, which we use a half slide protection scheme. Teaching point here then, the O-line, they listen for the verbal of the Major League Baseball, tells them it's Pocket Pro, and then the quarterback will give him a directional call along with if it's a 6-man or 5-man. When we want 6-man pro, we'll just use Lisa or Ray left and right. If we want 5-man solo pro, then we'll go with a Lotto and a Robo. The key here now is how you teach it and drill it. And again, what we want to be able to do is give this quarterback and receivers in the line plenty of repetitions where they're making reads that are game-like. So you can see we do what's called drill 25, where we're going to have 2 quarterbacks going on the left with all 5 receivers. You can see here this would be our mesh pass to the right, and that puts us then quarterback 1 is going to be on the free access side looking to the Z to the H coming under. The quarterback 2 then would have the front side of the pass seeing the X on the hash read route to the A coming under to the B to the wheel. So we can be working both sides of the read, front side and back side there, and getting quality reps. The coaches act as the defenders to manipulate the reads that they're going to see that week. While that's going on, the offensive line and then other running backs will go ahead and work this half slide pass protection, and the coach can act as the quarterback. So again, he can point and manipulate the blitzes and the looks he wants with defensive movements and still coach up the offensive line. All right, here's the mesh pass out of a 2x2 set. Again, I like to install plays first out of 2x2, and then we can advance to the 3x1. This is a Mets Ray. Our Lisa Ray call tells us we're going to be in a 6-man protection. The back will do his check release here, where he's going to check the Mike and the Sam inside out for blitz. If they don't, then he can release into his wheel route. The mesh receivers are always going to be the A and the H. The H is the mesh over receiver going over top. He wants to go right over the Mike's toes, right in front of him. The A is the mesh under receiver, then going right under the toes of that actual H back. So we get a nice rub here versus man. Once they've cleared each other, if it is zone, they can set down in open grass or open space. But if they've got any type of man, just keep running them. The Z receiver is going to run his glance route and is the free access receiver. The X is the run and shoot version here. He's going to run what we call a hash read route. It's very similar to the bender read that we use with the 4 verts, but we're going to add a drag component to it. The X receiver will run this. What he's going to do is go at a 45-degree angle towards the hash, and on about the 5th step, he's got to make his decision based on the defense. If it is 1 high safety, then he'll go vertical right up the hash to that open seam. If there's 2 high, then just like the bender read, he'll just continue right to the middle on that 45-degree angle and fill that open grass in the middle. If it's man on that 5th step, then he's going to go ahead and bend this flat and just run him across, running a drag. The quarterback here, real simple, is he's going to go ahead and pre-snap, see if he has free access to the Z receiver side. If he goes that way, feels he has free access, no safety help, he'll read him 1, and then he'll look to the H receiver coming with the mesh over, and then to the X in the middle, going left to right in this case. If he doesn't have free access, though, the main read is going to be, again, reading that Mike backer. That's the Mets cue. Again, if he gets blitz, then he's got his choice of going 1, 2, 3 of 1 with a hash read, 2 to the A, running the mesh under, and then 3 either to the wheel or the H, wherever his eyes take him to open grass. Again, what we want to do is create a situation where we feel we can always get the ball to the X because he's always going to be open if he makes the correct read, and then we can break down to the mesh unders and the wheel. Simple, sound against man or zone. All right, next here then we're going to progress to our 6-man protection from a 3-by-1 set. What's great about the system here is all of the receivers still run the same route rule. Quarterback uses the same read progression. Only one receiver has to make a concept adjustment, and that is the H-back, because he's the only one that moves with a 3-by-1 formation call here. What he'll do is still run a mesh over, but he'll do it as a pivot. What he's going to do, the H-back you see will run right to the toes of the mic again, but right as he gets over the ball, he's going to do a reverse pivot and then get onto his drag route, drag over as he would from his 2-by-2. You can see again now that A is still going to run the mesh underneath him, so we still get a nice rub. X still runs the hash read route. B is going to still check release, Mike and Sam check if they don't blitz to the wheel, and Z is the free access receiver running his 6-step glance route. Quarterback read progression again. Check and see if he has free access. Can go to the Z receiver side and work 1, 2, 3 there. But the main read again is going to be looking at the mic. Again, reading the hash read route to the A and the mesh under, to the wheel or the H on the pivot. Simple, sound, and consistent. Next, we'll go to 2-by-2, but we'll run it with our 5-man protection. This is great to get the back involved, especially if you feel you have a mismatch. Real simple here. Now the back is going to free release, so he's going to be able to get out there pretty fast. Nothing changes for any of the other receivers or the read progression for the quarterback. He's still reading the mic when we're looking to the hash read route, to the A on the mesh under, and now we could look heavy to the wheel with the back. Again, if he has free access, pre-snap, he can go ahead and go, think Z receiver to H under to hash read, reading that safety now as his key. Again, we go to 3-by-1, only one person has to make an adjustment, and that's the H using his pivot mesh over. Again, going to the toes of the mic, reverse pivot, and then on his drag. Again, same read progression for the quarterback. We're just free releasing the back using 5-man pro. So he's going to check for free access to the Z receiver side. No free access. We're going to go ahead and read the mic all the way, looking hash read, A under, B wheel, H pivot to Z glance. Simple, sound, consistent, and great against man or zone. Again, great play to put in right after your 4 verts. Again, one of the things you want to do with this, though, is if you're going to run mesh, you've got to work on it over and over and over. It looks simple on paper because the receivers, though, are moving through this. You've got to work it so that the timing is there and the confidence with the reads for the quarterback. Thanks.